Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. My name is Vimal Singh and today in this video we are going to explore internal threat protection, or you can also say insider risk management. So let's think. Generally what we consider whenever it comes to security, we always try to protect our data or infrastructure from external attack, which is true, we should do. But what about insiders? Don't you think you may have some user which is already part of your organization and doing some risky thing or maybe some you can say malicious thing? For example, exfiltration of your data, sending this data to your competitors, sending it to out of your organization persons, putting sensitive data into USB stick. So how we are going to keep a track of it, how we can identify who they are and what they're doing, and top of it what action we can take. So here Microsoft offers you one service. We call it Insider Risk Management, which is part of your Microsoft Purview. And with the help of that, we are going to identify all our internal intruders, I would say, or the threat. So in this particular video, we are going to see how we can set up this insider risk management to identify and detect those anomalies. And top of it, we can plan an action on those findings. So this is going to be first video where we'll see the, you can say basic configuration and setting, or I would say the start point of insider risk management. In coming next videos, you will see how we are going to create custom policies, how we can take action on it, everything in a sequence. So let's get started. Okay, let's see how we are going to play with this insider risk management. It's basically the starting point of insider risk management. To navigate insider risk management, you can log into Microsoft Purview portal, and there you will see this insider risk management on their first page. Or if you're not able to see that, you have the option, you can go to the menu and there you will have all solution. Inside the all solution, you will find insider risk management. Just click there. This is very important part, and it tells you how you're going to set up your entire insider risk management. If you don't have any idea what to do with it, how we can get it started, you just need to click to this place and there you will find all the details. So it is highly recommended that you can go through all these options to understand how this insider risk management can be configured for your tenant, or you can say the infrastructure. Mark it as a complete and make sure all these options are completed. Depends on your requirement, but such things must be completed before getting started. Now, the second point that you can see, which is configure insider risk setting. Let's click there. And this setting basically helps you to do your risk related configuration at this place. So if I scroll it down, there you can see it tells you and gives you the option, hey, you can go and choose your indicators. If I talk about indicators, these are the activity which is being performed by your internal users, like taking data into the USB stick or sending your sensitive information to out of your organization, and so on. We do have other options in other places, but you can directly come to this home page and start setting all this setting from this option. That would be easy for you. It depends. Let's close this. And let's see from where we can do those indicator settings. So we do have setting gear on your Purview portal. Let's click to that place. And here you will find something called insider risk management. You just need to click to that place. And the first thing that you see, which is privacy. Again, it is important. This particular option gives you the ability to protect your users, or you can say use user privacy. So the moment you're doing investigation or analysis, you can anonymize the user instead of showing their actual name, right? And that thing we can do it from this particular place. That's the reason you can see we are getting this option show anonymized version of the username. The second option, we have policy indicator. As we discussed earlier, this is important where you can decide what action of the user you are going to notice and what action you will take on that. So As you can see, it has two options. One is built-in indicator. So Microsoft has created too many indicators at this place, which is by default and enabled for their common activities. And along with this built-in indicator, we do have custom indicators as well. So when I say custom indicator, it means we are going to integrate non-Microsoft applications activity as well. For example, your organization might have Salesforce or the Dropbox that users are working on that. And I want to do analytics on those applications activities. What if the users are doing something, exfiltration from the Salesforce or maybe the Dropbox? So we can connect those as well. But it's not going to be as simple as the way we can configure built-in indicator. We need to perform some additional tasks. Microsoft has provided the right documents that you can use and explore to uh, integrate your custom application, or I would say non-Microsoft application at this place. So for this particular demonstration, I'm going to use select all. As you can see, what are the indicators? If you see, if it is detects SharePoint, sharing SharePoint file with the people outside of your organization, sharing SharePoint folder with the people outside of the organization, downloading the content from SharePoint, downloading content from OneDrive. So it's not mandatory. This is not going to be the usual activity of the user. Yes, definitely. So this indicator is not just it will detect, okay, one of the user has downloaded something from OneDrive, so it's going to be threat. We have to set threshold as well. For example, if the users are usually supposed to download something from the SharePoint or OneDrive, which is fine. But if they start downloading extreme, for example, every day they are doing 10 downloads, but suddenly after putting resignation, we notice the user started downloading 100 documents, 200 documents. They started sending these 100 documents to outside, which is not common, which is not usual activity. So in such case, we need to detect and take action on it. So it's not just enabling the indicator, we can also set the threshold for those indicators. We'll see later in this part. So right now I'm going to select all this, and if you can see all this built-in activity we have selected at this place. There are too many, and these are very common. Okay, now at this place, you must have noticed we can have multi-cloud or third-party indicators, and that must get connected from the Microsoft 365 Defender portal before we can use them in our policies. And that's the reason you can see we are getting this warning sign, and it's because it's not configured. So how we are going to configure it, we can go directly from this place to Microsoft 365 Defender. And again, Microsoft has given you the complete documentation that you can use to get integrated those things in your Defender portal. Once it is integrated, now you can enable this. If someone is deleting content from Dropbox or downloading content from Dropbox, that will be part of your insider risk management. Once it is configured, finally, at the bottom, you're going to save this configuration. So there you can see we got save button and we can save this. Okay. So far we understood how we are going to set the indicators, what activity of user will get detected. Now the next point is policy time frame. This is important. So the policy time frame you choose here, when a user triggers a match for an insider risk policy, it will detect. If you see their definition, it says the time frame you choose here go into effect for a user when the trigger matches for an insider risk policy. For example, if you set the activation window for 15 days and the past activation, you can say activation for 30 days, then a user triggers a policy, a match on July 1st, that policy will retrieve user activity from 30 days ago. Means it will start noticing the user activity from 1st June and will continue to record new activity for 15 more days. So it will go till 16th. So we are getting two window here, activation window and past activation window. So in activation window, you can set the duration 1 to 30, and in past activity, you can set 0 to 90 days. As we discussed, this activation window is the number of days after a trigger event that the policy will actively detect user activity, that may lead to potential data you can say security incidents. And in a past activity detection, we can determine how far you can say backup should go to detect user activity that may lead to data security incidents. Now, the next point is analytics. And this is very important. If you have some user, you can say in notice period, and you know that user may do some wrong activity, so explicitly you can target those users. But what if an existing user, those who are not in a notice period, they are not planning to leave the organization, they are part of your organization and is still doing some malicious activity or exfiltration of data? How you will get to know about those users? So for that, we can use this built-in analytics feature. Let's understand what it does. As you can see right now, it is off. So this analytics feature enables you to conduct an evaluation of potential insider risk in your organization. And it is also good that before creating any insider risk policy, let's explore who can be the risky one by analyzing their activity. And that we can do with the help of this. So this evaluation helps our organization to identify the potential area of higher user risk, and it helps us to determine the type and the scope of insider risk management policy that we can configure for our organization. So we can turn it on and save it. Once you saved it, in every 24 hours, it will scan and let you know. Now, let's come back to the overview. And as you can see, this analytics is on now. Earlier, it was not. So now let's select this. And here we'll see the benefit of this feature, what we can expect. So if I'll come to this place, what it says, sorry, it's 48 hours. So this first scan takes 48 hours to complete. And after that, 24 hours. So the scan runs daily against sources in your organization, such as Microsoft 365 audit log and Microsoft Enter ID, and that activity scans are the same one detected by the insider risk policy. And currently, all results are anonymized to protect user privacy. Now we'll go to the result section, as it's been 48 hours in our demonstration. So let's go and see the result, how it is going to show you. So to get result, you need to scroll this page, and here you will get clear visibility. Activity detected and ready to review, and we need to click on view result. And there we go. So this insight will summarize the, you can say, anonymized user activity detection. And these summary reports are grouped by the potential risk areas. You will see here potential data theft activity. You will see here creating or copying the file into USB stick, sending email to people outside your organization. And this has been detected from this default analytics. So we can identify that who is doing what. As you can see here at this place, potential data leak activity, 1.3% of user performed exfiltration activities. Now, if I have to see the detail, we can click on view details, and there it will give you the complete detection. And the good thing is what? On the basis of this detection, we can create a policy. And there we are creating data leak policy. And as per best practice, this analytics, or you can say default setting, recommends you can enforce this policy to all user or groups. So in my demonstration, I'm going to pick this all user and groups. And if I'll scroll it down here, this would be the indicators. And on the basis of that, we are going to create a policy, and done. Now, after that, let's come and see what other option is left over. So there is one more thing. Make sure your team can get their job done. This is again important. You're not supposed to expect one single user can do everything related to this. So you can go and start exploring the roles and you can say rights. So we'll come to this place, and here it says, make sure your team can get their job done. So the level of access that an admin has you can say, to the insider risk management feature that depends on which role group we have assigned to that user. And you can see here we have different roles like insider risk management admin, insider risk management analyst, management investigator, and auditor. And you can see there we are getting option to compare role groups. We can go to that place and check it out. What are the roles group we have and what is designed to do what. Now here we can have go to role group and Microsoft Purview solution, and that place there we can go and search for the group that we are trying to assign. So for example, there we are looking for insider risk, and let's explore insider risk management investigator. There we got this you can say edit section. So this role group allow the investigator to try as alerts and view content and take action on cases, but not to configure policies, or you can say the setting or access analytics inside the audit logs, or they're not supposed to do audit logs. So to assign members to this role group, you need to click on edit, and there you're going to choose the user who will be the investigators, and we can select that and save it. So now this particular user will be the investigator for this insider risk management. Once it is saved, now the user will be able to do their respective activities. Now let's come back to overview page once again. And now let's go to the audit log. This audit log is for insider risk audit log. What it tells you, like you got an admins. So your admins or whoever has the right to perform something on insider risk management. So it will keep you stay informed about the action that has been taken on insider risk management, you can say features. So it includes activities performed by admins, which is assigned to one or more insider risk management role or groups. We also need to check them as well. So if you can see here, there we are getting this complete audit. For example, if I click one of them, added user or a group to new policy, data leak quick policy, and we got this what we did. Now from here only we can up and down to move to next audit. You can say information, and there we can see the other options as well. Now let's close this one. And finally, we got this option called policy. So we will start now creating a new policy. Okay. So far, whatever we saw, that gives you the understanding how we can start with insider risk management. But this is not only the thing that we can do. You saw that we ended this discussion at creation policy option. So in next video, we are going to explore how we can create custom policy and detect our internal risky users. So thank you so much for watching. See you in next video.